Morning, everybody. Answers by Guess, week 3. This is our weekly morning show. We're going to go through a few extra things that we didn't get to go through on Thursday. I got Rob on the phone once again.
Morning, guys.
So we can get this started so that everybody has what they have to do before this morning game kicks off.
All right, yeah, man. Week 3, London game. We had mentioned it in the preview. So let's talk about the Thursday game a little bit, though. You definitely called it, man. You said it was going to be a high-scoring affair. Let's talk about some breakout players that you saw and how Gurley did his thing, man.
Gurley, it looked like he should have had 5 touchdowns. The other two, they wound up either kicking a field goal or going to Sammy. We'll have to wait and see how the week goes on to see how Sammy's feeling. I know he got hurt a little bit at the end of the game.
Yeah, tough one.
Robert Woods broke out in that game, so we were wondering when he was going to make an appearance. There it is. And, of course, I played Cooper Kupp like an idiot because I got worried about Devontae Parker maybe not playing. It was stupid of me. I was anxious, amateur move. Cooper Kupp did nothing. They threw him the ball a couple times, and a couple times they didn't when he was wide open. So I'd imagine Robert Woods is going to get some pickups. Tavon Austin looks like he's not even part of that offense anymore.
They use him more as a decoy, man.
Yeah.
It seems like.
Yeah, I knew Pierre Garçon was going to have a good game. I mentioned that in the video. I was worried about it. He seemed ready to go against his old coach, his old offensive coordinator, McVay. McVay looks awesome. He might be my favorite coach in the league. Sweet. He's a sweet dude.
Nice. All right. Sounds good, man. So, definitely good recap there. Definitely good call up Pierre Garçon. Let's see, as far as this game that's in this morning, it's coming up in the next hour. Let's talk about some players there and what you're thinking.
Well, as I've been saying the first 2 weeks, Baltimore, they don't want to throw the ball a lot. They want to run it as much as they can. Jacksonville, same exact team. They don't want Bortles to have to throw it a lot. They don't trust him to do that and do it well. And they want to run it a lot. But anybody that knows me knows that my conspiracy-laden mind feels that every time they have these London games, they want it to be high scoring because they know that, in the difference with soccer, they know that people like scoring. So, that's why I feel like soccer never really, it's popular in the United States, but it's not huge, just because there's not enough scoring. And if you notice, over the past few years in hockey, all of a sudden games are 7-6. It's like the same sort of thing. I feel like more scoring ramps up the fans, makes them like the sport more. So since we're trying to sell our product overseas, I always feel like they want these games to be high scoring. So whether that means they tell the refs to take it easy or call more penalties so the ball gets moved more. So it'll be interesting to see because I feel like it's two teams that want to play a game in the single digits or the teens. But now they're in London, and I feel like the NFL doesn't want that game to be shown overseas. So it'll be interesting to see. Mike Wallace said he wants the ball more. We'll see if he gets the ball more. I can't see why, especially because of what I just said about being played in London. They don't throw the ball deep to him a few times to try and make electrifying, exciting plays for the fans across the pond there. Macklin should still do well. It looks like Buck Allen is going to be, I think, the waiver wire pickup of the year. I should have known better, too. I had him 2 years ago, and I absolutely loved him. And then last year he got hurt early in the season, so they had to start putting in guys like eventually played Kenneth Dixon, and Terrence West got his last year. I should have known better. I should have scooped him. I don't know what happened that first Sunday. I wasn't in the right frame of mind, and I didn't pick him up. I should have done that because he looks like he's going to just be a stud. He looks like he's going to get the ball 75 to 90% of the time. Terrence West, if you got him, you should probably drop him and find a better option because I think this is Buck Allen's team. Fournette, he's going to get the same type of burn. Chris Ivory's been getting a lot of plays. A lot of snaps, and he's been doing really well with them. So, keep an eye. If Fournette goes down today, you might want to be quick to the wire and scoop up Chris Ivory.
Yeah, I agree, man. Yeah, I was actually thinking about picking up Chris Ivory this week
Yeah.
All right, awesome, man. So there's a lot of 1 o'clock games this week. Again, we had talked about in the preview. The matchups seem a little weird to me.
Yeah.
One game that I have in particular that I think kind of could be the same exact thing you're talking about, high scoring. Let's go Browns at Colts, man. Let's see what kind of players you're thinking about maybe in that game. T.Y. Hilton, does he come back at all? Brissett looked like he had some good stuff with Doyle last week. Actually going to probably start Doyle as a flex position. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, it's interesting because Brissett's first full game for a start for the Colts last week, and they said that he's still learning the offense, which makes sense. But I feel like if there's a week that you're going to play and feel confident this early on about T.Y. Hilton and Dante Moncrief, it's going to be this week. I feel like, yeah, that game could be a high-scoring game. It's, two young quarterbacks. The defenses aren't great. Browns have a better defense than the Colts. But I feel like those two, I would play them with confidence today. I almost wanted to sit J.J. Nelson in one of my dynasty leagues because he's kind of questionable, and I got to wait all the way till Monday. And if he doesn't play, I'm kind of, screwed. So I almost wanted to finally play Moncrief for the first time this year.
Okay.
Who knows when Andrew Luck comes back? I would like to see Brissett do really well because, I don't know, I'm a fan of his style of play. I like the guy. He's a good buddy of mine. We hang out sometimes on the weekend.
I need to get invited to that, man.
Yeah. Name drop. So the Browns, it'll be interesting because you had Rashad Higgins, who everybody picked up. He had a heck of a game last week when Kaiser went down, when Coleman went down. I believe Kaiser's going to play this week, which is a good thing. And Ricardo. Yeah, Ricardo Lewis, another guy. So I don't think they like Kenny Britt. So if you're somebody that still owns Kenny Britt, get rid of him. Pick up Ricardo Lewis. He's definitely on the waiver wire because he's going to be their number 2. I'm hoping to see Duke Johnson get more snaps out of the backfield. They did it last week, but not a ton. But better than week 1, they had 0 snaps out of the backfield. So Duke Johnson's probably a really good play today. I would say he's going to be my sleeper in that game. I look at him to get about 7 or 8 receptions and probably close to 100 total yards receiving and rushing. I think Duke Johnson's going to have a big game today in that one.
All right, nice, man. I'm actually starting Duke Johnson, so I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah,
awesome.
Cool.
All right, so one game that's interesting to me is always Jets Dolphins division game. Jets' first home game. Obviously, they've been a little tough as far as offense and defense, not looking all that great. Hopefully, we win a game, me being a Jets fan. Let's talk a little bit about this game, man. What are you seeing? Anybody on the Jets that you're playing? And I guess from the Dolphins' perspective, you could talk about maybe their wideouts.
That word this week, I can't stop shaking my head every time you say Dolphins because of my stupid decision. Devontae Parker is going to blow up because I didn't play him. I was projecting anywhere from 8 or 9 catches for him, over 110 yards and at least 1 touchdown. And, of course, the news came out he wasn't practicing. So me being an anxious, impatient idiot, Thursday night rolls around. I'm like, oh, my God, I got to have some action in this game. So I put freaking Cooper Kupp in. It's going to haunt me. Devontae Parker's, he's going to have a huge day. I know it. Ajayi's a little bit hurt. But they're gonna run him. They basically said we're not gonna limit anything on him. There's no. I think to paraphrase, they're like, what's the point of getting him out of the mode of just running and running and running? So if you need to play Ajayi, feel safe about that. The Jets are interesting. Curse has been killing it. I've been trying to get rid of Bilal Powell as much as I can this past week. I got rid of him in one league. I'm trying to get rid of him as much as I can. I had so much, hope for him. Now they got a 3-headed backfield. They love the rookie McGuire. So I wouldn't play any Jets running backs. If I'm in a pinch, I'll play Jermaine Curse. I'll play him, but other than that, I don't really feel too confident about any Jets today.
All right, man. That sucks to hear, to be honest with you. I get being a Jets fan, man. So again, we kind of talked about some other games and stuff like that.
They need to start Hackenberg. Sorry to cut you off. They need to start Hackenberg. This is just ridiculous.
You know what? I agree with you. Why are you throwing McGowan out there? I mean, I know they're tanking. Maybe with McGowan, that helps that situation. I mean, they're never going to admit they're tanking, but there's just no talent over there.
Honestly, so. I think McCown right now in this point in his career is probably a better option than Hackenberg, which is why if you want to tank / and or build for the future, you throw Hackenberg in there and you see what he's got. I mean, it's week 3. Let's go. Let him play 5-6 weeks. See what you got. Maybe if they get the first round pick or the number 1 pick next year, maybe they don't have to get a quarterback. Maybe they find out Hackenberg's, pretty good. And now we use that first round pick to do something else. We can sell it for a boatload of stuff. I think this is a bad decision playing McCown over Hackenberg right now.
Yeah, gotcha, Nick. I mean, I agree with you. I think Hackenberg can definitely be good. And, probably rebuilding is a better way of putting than tanking. So, yeah. All right, let's talk about tonight's game, man. Raiders-Redskins. I mean, as far as for what I see is that the Redskins get on track. Let's talk about the Raiders. Do they stay actually hot the way they've been?
Yeah, Kirk Cousins gets it going tonight. I've been a fan of the non-existent Raiders defense for a few years now. They cost me really badly last year in my most important league, the first few weeks of the season. I've finally given up hope on them. They just can't get it together on defense. Sure, they looked pretty good, last week. It doesn't matter. This is the week Kirk Cousins gets it going. Doxson's going to play. It'll be nice to see him in prime time to see what he's going to do.
I was actually going to ask you that, man. I mean, Jordan Reed obviously getting hurt again last week. What kind of players are going to be breaking out then from the wide outside?
Right, yeah. I think Doxson, he'll get a few catches. I think Crowder has a big game this week for once. Terrell Pryor, all he's got to do is catch the ball. He should have 4 touchdowns this year already. But I think Kirk Cousins gets it going. It's really tough. They lost Deshaun Jackson and Pierre Garçon and their offensive coordinator. So it's taken a little bit of time for them to get it going. And then with Jordan Reed being hurt, I'd give up on him too. I'd try and trade him as quickly as I can if I were an owner of Jordan Reed. The dude just cannot stay healthy. I said last week his feet are made of glass, man. And it showed last week again. He's hurt. So out of that, I play Cousins. I'm actually playing him in one league. I'm playing him over Stafford. I'm playing Stafford in a couple leagues. He's one of my favorites. He's my favorite quarterback going in the year. But I'm trying to do a little diversity. And I think Cousins goes off this week. Night game against Oakland. Their defense is just not good. Oakland, I got a feeling Seth Roberts gets a touchdown tonight. They love him in the red zone. I'm a little nervous about Amari Cooper. Just because he's going to have Norman on him, and he's been a little banged up all week. And then Crabtree went off last week. Don't expect 3 touchdowns from Crabtree, but maybe 1. And Jared Cook, I just traded him away, so he's going to have a big night tonight. So I think I think he's going to be. This is going to be a high-scoring game. I think we'll have a nice Sunday night competitive game. I think it'll be back and forth. Probably playing to the 30s, 34-31, something like that, 34-30. A lot of fantasy points abound.
Actually, Josh Norman is questionable tonight, so that might change things a little bit for Cooper over there.
Oh, wow. Nice. I didn't even see that. Oh, to mention about this game, Rob Kelly's not playing. So if you got Samaje Perine or Samaje Perine or Sam J or Samwise Ganji, whoever you have at running back, if you're not happy with him, Perine, he's maybe out there on the waiver wire, and you should scoop him and play him tonight. They didn't really like him because he was fumbling early in the offseason, but he had a pretty good game last week. And now with Rob Kelly out, I mean, they don't want to do what they did last week with Chris Thompson, giving him the ball so much. So I think Perine Kareem, Sam J, Samwise. He will have a good game tonight.
All right, nice, man.
And give up on DeAndre Washington. Jeez, I said he would be a first round pick going in next year. I don't know. They love Richard, and Lynch has been playing a lot better, but it's early. But I've gotten rid of him. I'll wait for him to do it somewhere else. And if somebody else scoops DeAndre Washington, go for it. Now that I said this, I'll have 100 yards and 2 touchdowns tonight.
Hold on, let me write this down. DeAndre Washington. All right. So I just want to talk a little bit about the Monday night game. Obviously, John Brown being out, like you had mentioned before, J.J. Nelson possibly not being, that guy as far as injury. He's hurting over there. Who do you see stepping up then?
Your guy, Jaron Brown.
Yes. Did you see how I let that in there?
Yes. And also another name for everybody, anybody that's listening, and if you're not listening, you don't know what you're missing, but Chad Williams, the rookie, finally going to be getting some burn. They say he is the next Anquan Bolden. So it'll be nice to see him on Monday night. I imagine if he has a pretty good game, he's going to be getting scooped up in a bunch of leagues. But it might be like another much ado about nothing type situation, because as soon as John Brown and J.J. Nelson are healthy, they're going to play over the rookie. He's a nice dynasty stash, but he might have a good game tonight with those guys not playing. And Fitzgerald just doesn't look like his old self, but neither does Palmer. So I do think Arizona wins this game. Here I go, 3 weeks in a row going against Dallas. I don't know what it is. But I'm playing against Zeke, so Zeke will have a huge game. You know how that goes. I hope he doesn't. I think he's going to come out really ticked off. Zeke will have a good game. I think Dak will have a bounce-back game. I think he's going to feed his lesser receivers a little more, because you're going to have Dez being blanketed out there by Peterson. So this game probably won't be as high scoring. If you're in a pinch at wide receiver or want somebody to fill your bench, Jaron Brown, Jaron Brown, and Chad Williams. Those would be the 2 guys I'd scoop going into this game if I was in a pinch.
All right, man. Yeah, I'm actually thinking about starting Jaron Brown.
Yeah.
I mean, he got 11 targets last week, so
yeah,
let's see what happens.
Yeah, he could do worse.
Exactly. All right, man. So I actually want to move on to a segment we were talking about doing this week in the update. Bench him, trade him, start him.
Okay.
You mentioned already a couple names that I had on my list here, but I have a couple other ones.
That's okay. Go through them all, even if I mention them.
All right, sounds good, man. First was Mike Wallace, actually on top of my list.
I would hold on to him and hope that he gets a long bomb or 2, goes over 100 yards, scores at least 1 touchdown, and then I'll try and trade him to somebody that needs a wide receiver. So you're obviously not going to be trading him this morning before 9:30. You got an hour left. Hope that he goes off today, and I wouldn't start him unless I had to. He's a fine wide receiver 3 in my mind, especially because I think he does get a long bomb and score a touchdown today. He demanded the ball. I think he gets it, but I would wait for a big game and then try and unload him on someone else and get something a little bit better depending on what your team needs. So he's a hold / start if you need to today, and then trade him.
All right, nice, man. Next one was Bilal Powell.
Trade him or cut him. I've had it with him.
Wow.
Because
you are cutthroat.
Yeah, I hate it. I've had it with him. He had the greatest 5-6 week stretch at the end of the year last year, and I was so happy. They love Elijah McGuire, man. They just love him.
They do, man.
So I would trade him. I'd try and trade him. I'm trying to trade him. I got rid of him in one league. I got about 3 or 4 more leagues where I got to try and get rid of him. I don't want anything to do with him anymore.
All right. Next one, T.Y. Hilton.
Oh, God, you're going to save him because you got two things going in your favor. One, each and every day, hopefully Andrew Luck is getting healthier, and two, each and every day, hopefully Jacoby Brissett is learning the offense and getting better. T.Y. Hilton is going to have a great second half of the year. So if somebody is looking to sell him, you should be looking to buy him. Get him at whatever reasonable cost you can. Same with Moncrief. I'd be buying both of those two right now.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if I would start them today. I'd start Ty. Moncrief has had, I think, like 20 targets and he has like 4 catches. As soon as he cleans the rocks off his hands and can learn to catch the ball with a little tenderness, he's going to start having a good year. So I would buy both those two. I'd start T.Y. Hilton today because I imagine he's probably one of your top 1 or 2 wide receivers. If you absolutely had to, like I said in the beginning, I would consider playing Moncrief. He's like a wide receiver 4 today.
All right, man. Somebody we didn't talk about, Jeremy Hill.
Oh my God, get rid of him. He's done. They have a new offensive coordinator, or not a new new offensive coordinator with a new agenda, and it's going to involve Mr. Mixon. It will be Mixon first, second, and most of the third downs. Giovanni Bernard will play most of the third downs. They might even split him out wide with Mixon on the field at the same time. Jeremy Hill is done. His time is over in Cincinnati. He's going to get maybe 5 snaps a game. Get rid of him. Get rid of him as soon as you can. Find somebody that needs a running back. I would try and do it this morning before the game start because I feel like after this week, you're not going to be able to do much with Jeremy Hill.
All right, man. Next one I got on my list might be a little surprising to you, but Marvin Jones Jr.
Oh, my God. You got to hold on to him. Let's start him tonight, too. If he could hold – he's another one. If he could just catch the ball, I mean, dude would have, double the production that he does already. There's going to be a lot of coverage that's going to focus on Golden Tate. Tonight, I think Kenny Galladay – or not tonight, today, I think Kenny Galladay has a good game. This is his – I talked about it. He's going to have that type of wavy season. Some games he's going to be able to be covered, and some games, they're going to have to focus on other people. This is a game, I think, where the Falcons are going to focus on Golden Tate and maybe even Marvin Jones a little bit. I think Galladay's going to have a big game, but I think Marvin Jones has a good game. I'd start him in a wide receiver 3 position if I had to. I would definitely not get rid of him. Save him. He's going to have a very solid year. I'm still a fan. Obviously, Stafford is my QB1 for the season. I called it, so I'm going to stay to it.
Nice, man. All right, somebody else we didn't talk about, Isaiah Crowell.
This is a tough one because I feel like as the season goes on, they're going to continue to give Duke Johnson more snaps out of the backfield because Crowell just is not getting it done. He's just not getting it done. And I feel like as the season goes on, Hugh Jackson is going to want to give Duke Johnson more carries out of the backfield, more snaps at running back. So I think that I would try and sell him if I could. I would try and trade him. I'd try and trade him for maybe like a couple of guys that I was talking about earlier. If anybody's trying to get rid of like a Moncrief at this point, and I needed a wide receiver, I'd get rid of Crowell for Moncrief at this point. And that sounds a little crazy, but Moncrief's value is only going to go up as Brissett gets better into the offense and Luck comes back. His value is going to go up. And if you really need a wide receiver and you're sitting there with Crowell as your RB2 or your RB3, I'd get rid of him. I'd trade him.
All right.
I'd start him. I'd start him today, though. I would start him today because he's playing the Colts.
Got it. All right. That's actually interesting. Yeah, see if you get some value there.
Exactly.
Maybe a touchdown or something like that, and then you could trade him away.
Yeah, you got to realize they're playing against Cincinnati, who's I think right now the number 1 defense in football. But they haven't really. That's because they played 2 bums and they've had no offense at all. So it's surprising actually that their defense is so good. But they haven't really played any good offenses. The Ravens, who look like the number 1 defense, and the Steelers, who have a young defense, they're kind of okay. But Crowell's got to play them twice a year. He's not going to get games like against the Colts like he has right now. And then if they're playing the AFC South this year, now he's got to go against Jacksonville, who's a really good defense. I already told you Houston's a good defense. The Titans are a good defense. So if Crowell has a good game today, you get rid of him for as much as you can, because it's nothing but tough sledding the rest of the way.
All right, I know we've only. I'm going on to the next guy. We've only seen one game from him, but DeSean Jackson.
If you're going to hold on to him, and you actually, you start him today. I feel confident starting him today. I think as the season goes on, Mike Evans obviously is always going to have his huge games with his 15 targets. But I think as the season goes on and defenses remember how Jameis Winston looks his way every single play, even on running plays, it's going to open up some chances for DeSean Jackson. So I'd start him today as a wide receiver 3. Feel good. Just hope for a bomb. I wouldn't trade him. I'd hold on to him. He's valuable.
All right. Glad to hear that. Let's talk about Brandon Marshall.
Well, you can't really trade him. Nobody wants him. So there goes that. I wouldn't start him today. I'd wait to see something. What's his face there? Who's the pedophile coach for the Giants? McAdoo. No one really knows. Did he give up, play calling duties? He was talking about he might do it.
I haven't seen an update on that, but
yeah. If he did, it's bad news for me because I'm starting Philly defense in a spot start. I picked him up just to play him. I'd wait. I would hold on to Marshall. I don't think you can trade him. Maybe if he has a good day today, maybe you can try and get rid of him if you don't really need him. I really see no reason why he shouldn't be able to produce. Again, Eli Manning's got to open his eyes in order to see him and throw it to him. But don't get rid of him. Don't start him. Wait and see. See if this Giants offense gets going. Orleans Darkwa is going to likely be the starter today. So scoop him if you're a Paul Perkins owner. I think Paul Perkins, sadly, his time is over. And I had a lot of promise for him. I was excited for him. He just can't get it done. He's got like 1.1 yards per carry, which is pathetic.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, man. I own him in a couple leagues too, and I'm just not expecting him to be that far down in as far as yards per carry. Man.
Yeah.
All right, somebody that we kind of touched on in the preview, actually questionable today, DeMarco Murray.
Trade him. Trade him as fast as you can. I wouldn't have even drafted him if I were you. So if you had to, or if you did, I'm sorry. But trade him because his name, as you said yesterday, Robert, carries a lot of value. Get rid of him. Obviously, the Titans still love him, but they know what they have in Derrick Henry. And Derrick Henry is going to play today. He's had a great game last week. He's probably going to have a great game today because I'm playing against him. I would trade DeMarco Murray as soon as I could. He's getting up there in age. He gets injured, it feels like, every year, at least a little bit. Get rid of him. He's going to be in a 60-40, 50-50 / timeshare as long as Henry keeps producing. Get something for him. I don't want him anymore, especially if it's a dynasty league. Get rid of him.
Yeah, very interesting, man. Yeah. Again, names carry weight, man. So, I agree with you. I would be on the trading of him right now, too.
Yep.
All right, let's talk about another injury. Eifert out this week. That's something that's big as far as from a tight end perspective. Mm-hmm. But the person I'm thinking about, Brandon LaFell.
Yeah, I can't see why he doesn't do well. I think Boyd, too, this week, because Ross isn't playing. I think Boyd should be active now, and I think that they should get Boyd involved. I think he's got some talent. So I wouldn't start LaFell this week because I feel like they're going to feed the ball to AJ Green quite a bit. You know, the squeaky wheel gets the oil type of thing. He complained last week about not getting the ball enough. This is wishful thinking, I guess, but I also feel like they're playing the Swiss cheese Packers defense, and AJ Green is going to murder them because they are playing the Swiss cheese Green Bay defense. LaFell will probably get 4 to 6 catches. I don't know if he'll do too much with them. Maybe he might get a touchdown. I wouldn't start him though. Hold on to him to see, but I think as the season goes on, Boyd and Ross are going to try and move LaFell out of there. So if LaFell does have a good game today, maybe try and sell him. Maybe somebody will buy him from you. You can get at least something in return from them.
All right, nice, man.
Yeah.
I think you got a good call on Boyd too. I could see him getting the rock today.
Yeah,
especially since the offensive coordinator new agenda.
right. Yeah, and they not benched him, but he was inactive last week for no reason. Nobody knows why, and it was kind of a big deal. So I think they're going to try and they're definitely going to play him. They're going to try and get him involved a little bit. And I think against Green Bay, not only are you going to have to, but you're probably going to want to. So.
All right, nice, man. I got my last one on my list with Bradford out again this week, possibly getting second opinions on his knee. Who knows where that's going? I actually have 2 names here, Stephon Diggs and Kyle
Rudolph. Well, see, those two, they have names, and names carry a lot of weight. I would start Rudolph today and feel confident about starting him. Diggs, if I had to, he's probably was drafted as your number 2 or at worst your number 3. If you got to start him, start him. But it's tough. I mean, you are going to have. It is another week with Keenum, so they're going to be a little bit better. I would trade Diggs for the rest of the year because who knows what's going to go on for Bradford, and do you really want to go through this headache every single week? And you could probably get quite a bit for Diggs. I mean, hopefully he doesn't tank today. If he has a pretty good game today, you could probably get a pretty good haul for him. So I'd look to trade him. Look to trade Thielen. I would not trade Rudolph at all, though, because, tight end is a backup quarterback's best friend. Rudolph's one of the best in the league, and the tight end position has been marred by injuries. So at this point, Kyle Rudolph's probably like a top 3 or 4 tight end at least. So you're not trading him at all. Don't even think about it. Start him.
All right.
Start him.
Man. I know. Yeah, I think you got to start him. I agree with that. Yeah. And again, I think I got to change my Fantasize Me name. I got a feeling it's not feeling very good right now.
Yeah.
So, all right, we're going to go on to the last part of the show. I just want to talk about free agents that are sitting out there. You're in a bind right now. We named a whole bunch of players on here, benching them, who we're starting kind of deal. What free agents are out there that you think somebody could pick up that will give them some value today?
I said Chad Williams playing tomorrow night's game. He might only be good for this week. If you're in a dynasty league and you got a large bench and you got a spot, scoop him because he's going to be a stud, I think, at the end of the year or next year. Jaron Brown, like you're playing him. D'Onta Foreman, the running back for the Texans, I think you should scoop him if you have the opportunity. I think they're trying to, as quickly as possible, fade out Lamar Miller. So if you're a Lamar Miller owner, you need to grab Foreman as quickly as you can. I would do that. Like if you're watching a video right now, I'd hit pause and I'd go and pick up Foreman because they want to get him more involved. He's a bruising rookie. He's got speed too. They really don't love Lamar Miller. I'm surprised why they even signed him last year because they don't use him right. And now they spent a pretty good draft pick on Foreman. So I think they're trying to phase Miller out of there. So scoop him. Dion Lewis. I said in the other video, Dion Lewis is going to have a good game today, I think. Today you're going to have the Dion Lewis show. So if you're in a running back pinch, scoop him. As I said, Rex Burkhead would have a good week. Now he's hurt. Now he's not even playing. I said he would do nothing this week. Well, obviously I'm going to be right there, so that's good. He's not even playing. Wide receivers, who's out there that you could probably pick up? I said Ricardo Lewis. Somebody probably already picked up Higgins. I think if Aguilar is still out there, he's probably going to have a pretty good game today because I don't think Torrey Smith is playing. Is Torrey Smith out?
I saw that he was questionable.
Okay.
I didn't see if he was out or not, though.
Okay. Geronimo Allison. Cobb all of a sudden has a chest injury. Jordy's going to play today, but, it seems like with Jordy, as soon as anything happens to him, even close, they're benching him. They're saying, we need you for later on. So they're being very cautious with Jordy. So you might want to scoop Geronimo Allison just because he's the next wide receiver up in Green Bay. And, I mean, you could do worse than have, the fourth wide receiver on Green Bay. So aside from that, I mean, if you are an Eifert owner, go pick up Tyler Croft. Play him today. He's going to do well today. Again, against the Swiss cheese Green Bay defense. Trying to think of other guys out there.
What about Flacco? I mean, I know he's available in a lot of leagues. You're saying about a high-scoring game. Would that be somebody you take a chance on if you're having some QB issues?
If you are in an absolute pinch and he is one of the only guys out there, then sure, you play him today. But I wouldn't feel safe making him my quarterback, for the season. Just because I know they don't want him to have to throw the ball too much. And if he gets hurt, I mean, then you're back in the same boat you were in. I mean, I think that today will be high scoring because of my conspiracy theory about the London games. But other than that, I don't know. I mean, he's got weapons, but they don't want him to really have to use them. So,
gotcha, man. Yeah. All right, so just look up actually Torrey Smith. He is still questionable for this week. So,
okay.
All right, you got anything else, man?
No, good luck to everybody. Continue to pump questions in. We had a few questions this week. We answered them on the fly. I'd love to be able to answer questions in the video, but I know people want the answers quick, so it's hard for me and Rob to see somebody ask a question and just not answer it. So if you get a ton of questions in there, maybe we won't be able to answer them all, and maybe we can have some more material for the show. Good luck today. Enjoy the London game. Let's go Packers. Let's go all of my fantasy teams. Derrick Henry, do nothing today. Jordy Nelson, do nothing today. I think Kelvin Benjamin's going to have a good game today, and I'm playing against him, so he will.
All right, man. Awesome. Yeah, wishful thinking there.
Yeah.
Definitely, guys, like he said, comment on our post. Definitely watch the videos. And again, answersbyguess@gmail.com if you don't want to be reaching out over Facebook or YouTube, Twitter, whatever it is. So again, Answers by Guess, man.
Yes, we'll see you in week 4, and we'll take questions today in the comment section until about 12:45. So we'll see you then.